What do you think is Superman's biggest weakness?
If you said kryptonite, you're not wrong, but you're also not entirely right.
That green glowing rock can definitely take him down.
But there's something far more powerful, something that strikes at the very core of who he is. It's not a physical substance, but an emotional one. Superman's greatest weakness is his humanity. Think about it. He's an alien from a dead planet, raised by two kind-hearted farmers in Kansas. From day one, he was taught the values of compassion, empathy, and the unwavering belief in the goodness of people. These are his greatest strengths, the very things that make him a hero and not a tyrant. But they are also his most profound vulnerability. Kryptonite can be avoided. You can put it in a lid box, shoot it into space, or just stay away from it. But how do you avoid your own heart? How do you shield yourself from the pain of others when you feel it as your own? Every single day, Superman has to make impossible choices. He hears everything. Every cry for help, every car crash, every cat stuck in a tree. He can't be everywhere at once. For every person he saves, there are countless others he can't get to in time. That's a burden that would crush anyone, let alone someone with the power to level cities. He has to live with the constant knowledge of suffering that he can't prevent. That's a psychological weight far heavier than any planet he could live. His enemies know this. Lex Luthor, his arch-nemesis, rarely tries to beat Superman in a fistfight. Why would he? That's a losing game. Instead, Luthor attacks his principles. He puts Superman in situations with no right answer, forcing him to choose between two terrible outcomes. He engineers scenarios where saving one person means letting another suffer, all to prove his cynical point that absolute power cannot coexist with absolute morality. Luthor's goal isn't just to kill Superman. It's to break his spirit, to make him doubt the very ideals he stands for. He wants to expose the man as a fraud and the super as a threat. This is a recurring theme across Superman's long history in comics, movies, and TV shows. In the classic story, What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way, he faces a team of anti-heroes called the Elite who have no problem with killing villains. They're brutally effective, and the public starts to love them for it. They see Superman's refusal to kill as outdated and weak. The story isn't about whether Superman can physically beat them. Of course he can. The real battle is for the soul of the world. He has to prove that his way, the compassionate way, is better, even when it's harder. He has to show that true strength lies in restraint, not in brute force. Then there's the heartbreaking story for the man who has everything. An alien plan attaches to him and gives him his heart's deepest desire, a life on a Krypton that never exploded. He has a wife, a son, a normal life. When he's finally ripped away from this perfect dream, the sheer emotional agony is devastating. It's a pain that no punch could ever inflict. It reminds us that under the cape, he has the same wants and desires as any of us. He longs for a family and a home he can never truly have. This vulnerability is what makes him so relatable. If he were just an indestructible god who solved every problem with a punch, he'd be boring. We wouldn't care about him. But because he feels so deeply, because he's constantly struggling with his own limitations and the weight of the world, we connect with him. He's not just a symbol of power. He's a symbol of hope. He represents the best of us, our capacity for kindness and self-sacrifice, even in the face of overwhelming odds. His secret identity, Clark Kent, isn't just a disguise. It's the core of who he is. Clark is the one who was raised with love, who works a normal job, who has friends and worries about paying his bills. Superman is what he can do, but Clark Kent is who he is. And Clark is fundamentally human in his heart. That's why he fights for us. He doesn't see humanity as a flawed species to be ruled over. He sees humanity as his family. And like any family, we are his greatest source of strength and his most exploitable weakness. Villains constantly threaten Lois Lane, Martha Kent, or Ginny Olsen, not just to distract him, but to hurt him on a level that fists and heat vision can't reach. They know that the surest way to bring the man of steel to his knees is to threaten the people he loves. It forces him into a reactive position, often clouding his judgment and making him vulnerable to traps. Imagine the constant fear he must live with. He's powerful enough to move planets, but that power is useless if he's just a second too late to save Lois from a falling building. This dynamic makes his story so much richer than just simple good versus evil battles. They become tragedies, morality plays, and deeply human dramas. So, while Kryptonite is the easy answer, it's really just a plot device. It's a physical representation of a much deeper, more interesting vulnerability. The real battle for Superman isn't fought in the skies over Metropolis. It's fought within his own heart. It's the struggle to hold on to his humanity, to maintain hope in a world full of darkness, and to accept that even with all his power, he can't save everyone. His greatest weakness is that he cares too much. And ironically, that's what makes him the greatest hero of them all. He chooses every single day to bear that impossible burden for us. He is a God who chooses to be a man, and in that choice, he finds his true strength and his most profound weakness. It's the beautiful, tragic paradox of Superman. So the next time you see him fighting some cosmic threat, remember that the real fight is the one you can't see. The fight to keep believing in truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the character of Superman, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Let me know in the comments what you think Superman's biggest weakness is. See you in the next one.